Hey, what's going on, fellas? It's Czar here. I'm following up on the deck profile that I made, and here is, of course, the list for Kozmo DPE for the Fusion Festival. Just wanted to show this real quick at the start of the video in case any of you guys missed the last one. Go ahead and go check it out. We'll put a link down there in the description. Going over it in depth. But here I just wanted to show it real quick at the start so everyone's on the same page. And then I wanted to go into showing some replays, showing some of the results of the matches I've been grinding so far. I've lost exactly one match to my opponent having double Super Poly. And that's pretty much it. I've won every other game. So the results speak for themselves. This deck is very good for this format. So let's enjoy it while we can for the next just under a week, shall we? Let's go ahead and get into the replays. Okay, here we are. First replay of the video is going to be me versus... this is one of the older ones, so I forget. But as you can see, our hand's not very good, and we're going second. Our opponent just passes. I remember this duel now. So this is just a duel to showcase what we do, you know. Our opponent didn't open well, we didn't open well either. Our opponent drops Max C. Not a problem for us, we're not killing them anyway, so we don't have to dedicate anything into their Max C. We can just play Strawman, set a Kozmojo, pass it over. Dark Destroyer can come down on their turn at any time. They drop their Fusion Destiny, so we do have to contend with the DPE. I decided to go for Strawman here. Reason being is that because we want Kozmojo to trigger a destruction on a ship, so we can recur advantage. So he's going to summon his DPE here, and it is not safe from Kozmojo. So as soon as he activates his DPE, we're chaining our Kozmojo, and we're going to force it now. So Kozmojo in response. We're going to destroy Dark Destroyer, get that DPE out of here, no longer in rotation. Now our opponent is playing Hero, which is a little concerning because he just sent a Mally and a Denier to the graveyard. But we're going to hit a Dark Lady here so we can have a negate, because we want to try not to die here. Our opponent's going to Poly away Ferris and Denier, and I believe they're going to make Dangerous here. Now, they're going to trigger Dangerous. We're going to negate and destroy this with Dark Lady. Just take the free advantage off the discard cost while we can. So they have one card left in hand, and we're going to make them have it, because if it's dead, then they're dead. But it's Monster Reborn. Thankfully, DPE is banished. So Monster Reborn on Dangerous is the best option they have. They can Mally for another Mally. But at this point, they realize they have nothing and they scoop it up. So yeah, didn't even see DPE here. Let's go see if we can't find a replay with DPE in it, shall we? Alrighty, I have us loading in now to a replay versus an actually very competent deck under the format, Thunder Dragon. It's going to become very obvious what they're playing because they shotgun a D-Shifter at their first opportunity here. We're going to slap down the Kozmo Town, and down comes the D-Shifter. So that's not very fun, but we're still going to mulligan here, mulligan away our Dark Destroyer, so we're taking advantage of that mulligan effect with our field spell, and we're going to get a a Wicked Witch, so we can normal summon that, not die this turn, and then next turn, when the D-Shifter is worn off, which it looks like our opponent bricked, we are going to DPE, now that the cards are going to go to the grave. Our opponent's going to Max C, that's fine, nothing we can do about it. We don't have to play into it too hard because we're at a slow pace. We can play at our own pace in this deck. So we're going to DPE. They're going to get one draw off of it. That's all they're going to get off of us, though. We're going to go into battle phase here. I think I get greedy. I'm like, what's the odds they have a 2k or higher booty? It's a 2k or higher booty. They're playing Dragon Matrix. I'm going to DPE pop it. They're going to get their effect, but we get ours. I'm not concerned about our opponent searching another Matrix. And more importantly, we can get in for that 2500 damage and put them on a little bit short of a clock. That's going to grab us a Dark Destroyer, and then there's that damage I was talking about. So now we have a Dark Destroyer for disruption. We've got the Call of the Haunted and the Kozmojo. So in case our opponent Super Polys, which I believe... I don't think he actually does in this game, but if our opponent Super Polyed our Wicked Witch and Phoenix Enforcer, we could call the Haunted back, Phoenix Enforcer. I almost forgot, this was also in a build when I was playing Call the Haunted over Back to the Front, but then I just said screw it. I had the Call the Haunted, I did not have the Back to the Front, so I said screw it and crafted the Back to the Front because I just feel like it's better. But nonetheless, we're just letting our opponent go through the motions here. We're not really too scared of anything up until this point, at which point I'm going to destroy the Dark, so that way they don't have a Thunder Dragon on field to make Colossus. But they have the fusion anyway. They're going to opt to make Titan here, which is very interesting to me, because that's actually way more easy to deal with than Colossus is, but it doesn't matter anyway. We have Cosmojo, I just opt to use it on the Titan now, so they don't get the advantage off of banishing the stuff. They have the Ash Blossom. That really sucks for us, because now our Cosmos are entirely out of rotation. But it's not a problem, we can sit on a DP in a simplified game state. It's not too huge of a deal. I'm going to pop this in the Aloof Lupine just to clear the field, and their Lupine's going to trigger, they're going to get their Titan back in deck. We're going to trigger a DP, and they also have Ghost Bell. This is where that Revival Trap comes in handy, guys. So we're going to let this chain resolve. And in the off chance that our opponent has another Ghost Spell, I want to get the Call of the Haunted resolved now, so DP is back on the field. Because, you know, no two Ghost Spells in one turn. It's once per turn. I'm going to set both Dark Rulers and take advantage of the Pot of Greed that the DPE engine lets us play, and we rip Farm Girl off the top, so this is GG. Our opponent might not realize it, or he's just staying for the points, but we're going to search Dark Destroyer, swing in, banish still in battle phase, summon Dark Destroyer, and swing in for game. Alrighty, another replay for you. This might be the last one. I might do one more after this, we'll see. I know this game went on for quite a little bit, because it wasn't great for us. But, you know, we're going to, I think I talked about this in the profile, we're going to normal Wicked Witch so we don't die, summon Kaiser Coliseum. Our opponent cannot commit more than one monster to the field, and our monster is a wall. They're going to set 2 and pass, not sure if that's because they bricked or if because they're a trap deck just in general. But we're going to summon Farm Girl now, attempt to get in, and we're hit with Quaking Mirror Force. I was shaking my head and I was so frustrated at this point. But, okay. Our opponent, as long as they don't summon anything, we can draw a Dark Destroyer and we can actually tribute summon it with 2 tributes. We drew Fusion Destiny, even better, so long as that set isn't something that stops it. Send the Dasher from hand, Celestial from deck, make DPE. We're going to swing in. I'm assuming that's not a second Mirror Force, and it's not. Move to main 2. Called by, so we won't get our pot of greed this game. At the current pace that it's going, though, I was not concerned at this point. Their called by is burned unless they had a second one. I think it's at 2 at Master Duel, right? I'm pretty sure it is. But they'd have to have a second one set to stop the DPE. They'd have to have it in hand to stop it from reviving on this turn. They don't do anything again. Let's see, we're gonna summon Landwalker with Dasher because we just drew it. It's very good. He drops Max C. We're not concerned about it because he's dying this turn anyway. We're not allowed to flip up under the conditions of Quaking Mirror Force, those 2 set pilots we have. But it doesn't matter because DPE and Landwalker are going to get in. DPE is going to pop them both. Landwalker is going to summon, DPE is going to chain block him in case he has Ash, and Landwalker is going to guarantee summon back and guarantee lethal right here. I go for Dark Lady in case of Gores. You never know. You never know. We'll do one more. Alright, last replay. If this is the one I'm thinking of, this is the one I wanted to show. Oh, I don't think this is the one I'm thinking of. I don't know if this was a good match or not. If it's not, future me, cut it. Our opponent... Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, we'll keep this in. I'll tell you. We'll do this one and one more. Make this a little bit of a long one for you guys. Our opponent blind ashes the terraforming, which is a bit silly, but it works in our benefit because now they don't have the ash for the tin can. We're going to guaranteed get a ship to our hand because, as you can see, we do not have one. We are really good at drawing Dasher, though. So we're going to get Dark Destroyer, luckily. MST for the Kozmo is unfortunate, but we still have a Disrupt, and our opponent is playing DDD in the Fusion format. Now, I don't think any of the notable DDD cards have any effects that we're really worried about. I mean, they're good at putting fusions on the field, but their best fusion is the Monster Reborn, and there's also this one that just says gain life instead of losing it. It's not phenomenal, but the fact that they swarm so quickly can be a little scary. But you gotta remember, they can't do anything other than fusion here. And DDD just does not put anything up that we're really worried about. So they go for the Monster Reborn here since King Dark was summoned. They have Double Dark, King Genghis, and the Baphomet. What a weird name. All of which are smaller than the Dark Destroyer, which we summon quick effect on their turn and pop the Genghis for free, since he can't keep Monster Reborning. We rip the Kozmo Town, that's very good. We're going to add Mulligan here. Maybe I should have added back the Tin Can and Mulligan too, but it's not super important. This is a very simplified game state. Our opponent has very little resources. They get a search off the gate. I forget the name of it. Dark Contract with the gate. They get a search off of this next turn. They're going to gain 2,000 life because of Dark instead of losing 2,000 life. They'll search in the main phase, and then they'll get a fusion summon again. And at this point, I think I've seen everything that they have to offer. I'm not too worried about anything he's going to put out. He normal summons the Night Howl, brings back the Dark at 0 stats, and then fusion summons them both away. And it's for... yes, I never knew this card existed before now. Beowulf. It's not very good. He keeps forcing us to use our Tin Can. I'm not sure if it's because he doesn't read, or if it's just because he thinks he has to. But he opts not to crash into our Dark Destroyers. That's fine. We can crash on our own terms. Just crashing in battle is a very viable strategy in this deck. We're going to add back a Tin Can this time before mulliganing, and then we're going to mulligan away. I believe we do all 3, do we not? Yes. So mulligan for 3, and we rip Farm Girl. It's just big enough to get over Baphomet, so we can do 100 damage and get our search. I'm going to grab Kozmo for disruption, because I do not believe we are killing this turn. Crashing Dark Destroyer, since they have equal attack, hitting the destruction and the float into Forerunner for another untargetable monster, more damage, and our opponent is now not going to heal. They're going to be on 19 by their standby phase, and they have exactly this turn to do something, and we are too far ahead to let them. I let them burn. No reason to not let them burn. I even let them get their search, because at this point I'm feeling cocky. I don't feel like I need to waste any time worrying about what they do, but at this point I'm like, yeah, I don't want you to fusion summon. So I Kozmo away the continuous spell once it activates, so he doesn't get the use out of it. He ends up having another one in hand, which he'll play down here in a second. But as he comes to learn, he can only use the effect once per turn, and he already used it, it just didn't resolve, so he scoops it up there. Let's go into that game that I actually wanted to show here real quick. Give me one moment. Alrighty, here we are with the last match of the video. I wanted to show this because it is against the big bad boogeyman of the format, True Draco. Our opponent goes Igniseat Pass. Their opener must not have been very good. We rip Italy off the top, thank goodness. A good 6th card. Our opponent's going to get a spell trap off of this. They add it to hand. That's understandable, I suppose. We are going to get, it doesn't really matter what, we just need a body. We're going to get Tin Can, summon Dark Destroyer. We're going to pop the Ignis, and we're going to get in for some damage with Fusion Destiny as well. So this is an ideal setup, I'm not going to lie. Now, on this turn, we are pretty weak because Fusion Destiny locks us out, so if for whatever reason Dark Destroyer would be destroyed, he would not float. But on our opponent's turn, we are going to be able to use DPE to pop the Dark Destroyer, pop an opponent's card, float into something that also disrupts. Oh wait, but he has Raigeki. That's fine. Raigeki does not do anything to this deck. DPE comes back next turn, Dark Destroyer brings something else out. we're not worried in the slightest, to say the least. We're going to bring out Forerunner. It's just a big beefy boy he can't beat over. He's going to put out Double Heritage. He's going to Tribute Summon. He's going to use that to pop the Trap Trick. It's no problem. We'll Trap Trick out. I'm not worried about whatever he searches off of Majesty Maiden. Really, True Draco's nothing to fear when they don't have their floodgates. So we're going to get our Kozmo Joe just for extra disruption and cycling of our Cosmos. He's going to use Heritage to draw and then Tribute over it with his normal Tribute. We're going to Kozmo Joe here. He's going to get Dynamite. That is absolutely fine by us because he's going to get Apocalypse. And then Kozmo is going to resolve Banishing Dynamite. We're going to float Forerunner down from 7 into 5. We're going to pop his Apocalypse. He's going to chain it. I'm not sure why he did this, because the Apocalypse is dying anyway. And then he's going to use the Apocalypse to kill our Slip Rider anyway as well, so that was just absolutely pointless. I think he was just clicking buttons at this point. He doesn't know how our cards work. We're going for Strawman. We're going to start filling up our board with bodies. We're going to use Dasher. No real need to do this. I'm just clicking buttons to it, I guess. Bringing out Wicked Witch. Bringing out DPE. Strawman bringing out a Banished Destroyer. And Lethal. Draco taken out like it's nothing. Alright guys, so that was the replays. As you can see, Kozmo, pretty formidable. Now, what you won't see in this video, obviously, are the times when this card with the deck draws like Dasher and 4 ships, and then you just can't do anything or something like that. Which can happen. You're playing quite a few high-level monsters in your main deck, but any hand where you don't brick, you're putting up a real fight. Your opponent... most decks in this format are not playing stuff that can easily deal with these cards. And the only card that's really outing your stuff that's not triggering destruction is Super Poly. And we're playing ways around that, unless your opponent happens to draw 2, which has happened to me. But yeah, other than that, I think it's pretty clear cut, a pretty solid representation of Kozmo. Very formidable deck. I have not seen it on ladder at all in the format. So if you want to pick it up and get the jump on some of your opponents, absolutely do so. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see in the comments below. Let me know what you think of Kozmo. See you next time. Peace.